If you have a business or even a business idea, you need a website. If you have a hobby that might turn into a business, you need a website. If there's a topic that you can't stop talking about, you need a website. In this episode of Think Inside the Square, you'll learn why I feel so strongly about this and how you can create your website today. Seriously, you can create one in a few hours or even less time if you're really motivated. So let's get to it, shall we? Welcome to Think Inside the Square, a podcast full of tips and tricks to help you build a website that you're proud of. I'm your host, Becca Harpain, Squarespace expert and educator. And in this episode, I'm sharing why you need a website and how you can create one today. Look, it's not going to be perfect on day one, and it doesn't have to be, but don't let the fear of creating one stop you from getting started. There are 3 simple things that you need on a basic website, and I'll share those with you in this episode so you can launch today. For a transcript of this episode, along with the links to any resources mentioned, visit insidethesquare.co/podcast. We all seem to love social media, don't we? It's where we connect with friends and family and our favorite brands. It's fun, it's engaging, it's a fantastic way to build a community. But let's be real for a second. Social media is like a really fun house party. It's great for hanging out, for dancing, making new friends, but it's not your home. Your home is where you relax, where you recharge, where you can truly be yourself. It's your sanctuary. And guess what? Your business, even if it's just a business idea right now, that needs a sanctuary too. And that sanctuary is a website. Don't think of your website as a digital business card. It can be a lot more than that. Yes, you want to share your contact information, but a website is the platform where you showcase your personality, your expertise, your experience, what you offer the world. It's your chance to make a lasting impression and tell your story in your own words. It's where you dive deeper into your products or services, where you share valuable content that positions you as an expert. It's where you build trust with your audience. Social media, it's great for quick snippets and engaging with your followers, but your website is where you can really shine. Now, let's say you're starting a dog walking business and you share cute videos of your new clients and the tricks you teach them, or maybe you started sharing tips for people who are trying to get their puppies to heal. That is helpful information. It can position you as an expert on those social media platforms. But you know what it doesn't do? It doesn't tell me how to hire you. It doesn't tell me what you charge and doesn't tell me where you're available. Sure, I can dig through your feed, look for your highlights, your pinned videos, but if I click your link in bio and get to a website that has all the information I need to hire you, that is where the magic happens. Your website is your own little corner of the internet where you have complete control. A website gives your business a professional look and feel, and it shows your future customers that you are serious about what you do. It's where you nurture relationships and provide valuable content and resources. Plus, it can help you show up in search engine results. Now, Google is quickly becoming the yellow pages of the internet, but there are still people who use it, and they won't find your link tree or whatever social bio page you use when they search for you on Google. Now, I realize that after saying all that, it might sound like building a website is a massive undertaking, and I don't want you to be intimidated by it. The truth is, you don't have to have all those fancy bells and whistles at once. In fact, I think starting small is the best approach. You don't need a 50-article blog and a fancy loading animation and a custom branded everything, not on day one. The best way to get started is to focus on the basics, and these are the 3 things that your basic website should have: who you are, what you do, and how people can work with you. Creating a single website page, usually called a landing page that has this content, is all that you need to do today. As your business grows, you can add more pages, more features, more complexity, add a blog later on if you want to, start selling products. You can add all of that stuff over time. But right now, day one, you need to answer 3 things on a single page website: who you are, what you do, and how people can work with you. I should probably clear that one up. How people can reach you. Do you want them to email you, to text you, to call you? One of those is enough. That's literally all I want you to have on your homepage to start your website. And again, over time, you're going to add more pages, more features, fancy content. There will be time for all of that. But the only way to build a website is to actually get started, and I want you to do that today. Instead of aiming for something perfect and fancy, the important thing here is to get this website live today and start attracting visitors. So back to what's on the page here: who you are, what you do, and how to reach you. It sounds simple enough, but a lot of people actually get stuck here because writing text can be kind of intimidating. But I have a helpful tip for you. The best website copy reads like a conversation. Think about the last time you were chatting with your friend about your business. What did you say? How did you describe it to them? That is the kind of tone that I want you to aim for. Be authentic, be yourself, and most importantly, be clear. People have short attention spans these days, so get to the point quickly and avoid any complicated jargon. The most important thing here is to keep it casual and have fun with it. This should be a conversation with your audience, and I genuinely want you to write like that. Be genuine, be helpful, but most importantly, be yourself. Episode 36 of this very podcast was all about writing engaging website copy, and I'll be sure to link to it in the show notes. But before you start writing this basic website copy for your basic homepage here, let's talk about the robot in the room, AI. AI chatbots like Google's Gemini and ChatGPT, they're really powerful tools, but they cannot replace your human creativity, at least not yet. So AI can help you with things like brainstorming ideas, checking grammar, suggesting alternative word choices, but it's not going to replace your unique voice and your unique perspective. Think of AI like an assistant, not a ghostwriter. Use it to enhance your writing, not replace it. I like to use AI to help me summarize long blog posts, to help me write SEO titles and descriptions, and I very often use it to check the tone and language and grammar on content that I write. But you shouldn't use it to generate the copy for your website, especially for your homepage. Write from the heart like you're having a conversation with a friend. Now, I realize I'm staring down the edge of a rabbit hole here. I'm very close to turning this into an episode about AI, so let me pull back and get to the topic at hand. You know you need a website. You know what it needs to do. Clearly state who you are, what you do, and what you want people to do next. Now, you need the right tools to build it. So let's talk about platforms. What should you use to build your website? I have used a lot of different programs over the last decade or so, from Adobe Muse and even Dreamweaver to Wix, and of course the oh-so-popular WordPress. But there are two programs that I want to recommend to help you get started today: Flodesk or Squarespace. Now, my longtime listeners probably just gasped. You would think that Squarespace would be my only answer, right? Well, not today, my friend. Flodesk has some cool new stuff that anyone can use to create a website, and I'm going to talk about it. But first, let's talk about my favorite website development platform, Squarespace. Squarespace is a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. When you're editing your site, you can see what it looks like in real time. Now, believe it or not, that isn't always the case. Some WordPress themes require you to edit in a different program than the browser window, which results in a lot of back and forth between the program and the site preview. Squarespace doesn't do that to you. What you see is what you get. Plus, it's also responsive, and that means the content of your site is automatically resized and restructured to look good on every screen size. Is it perfect? No. But could you imagine having to create 10 different layouts for every single page on your website? That's exactly what designer dinosaurs like me used to do back in the day, and I'm very glad those days are over. Now, I think Squarespace is fairly intuitive and easy to navigate. Sure, there's a bit of a learning curve, but it's shorter than most. For a lot of the features in Squarespace, you just click on it enough and you'll find new menus and settings to work with. If you need some pointers, I've got a lot of tutorials on my website and I'll link to them in the show notes. But I'm here to tell you that Squarespace is a great place to get started. One of the many reasons I recommend Squarespace to people who are just getting started with their website are the designer templates. Yes, there are designers out there who offer beautiful paid ones that you can use, and a lot of those are amazing. But for your basic brand new site, you can definitely get started using a free one. It's very easy to just swap out the content with your own. Change that copy to that conversational text that you wrote, change the image to a picture of your smiling face, and you'll be good to go. Later on, you can customize colors and fonts and add more pages, but again, we're just getting started today. And for a basic brand new site, start with one of the free templates available through Squarespace. They also have a pretty cool new AI model that they built called Blueprint. This will take your answer to 5 specific questions and build a website for you in a matter of minutes. It's rad, it's free to try, and I want to encourage you to check it out. Visit insidethesquare.co/blueprint for more info. And I'll say it again, I'll link to that in the show notes. All right, so there are 2 more benefits to using Squarespace, and then we'll move on to Flodesk. The first is that you don't have to pay for a whole year at a time. If you're not confident that it's the right program, but you know you need to start with something, just sign up for a month. Play around with it behind the scenes, check out other programs, and if you ever do decide that you want to stay with Squarespace for a longer term, you totally can. The other pro is that they also sell domains. So if you want to buy a custom domain and your website at the same time, I'm all for making it easy on you, and that's what Squarespace can do in the same interface. All right, enough about Squarespace. Let's talk about the other program I want you to consider, and that is Flodesk. Flodesk is an email management platform, not a website builder. So why the heck am I talking about it? If your main how to reach me action is to have someone submit their email address, Flodesk will hold on to that for you. You can also have it send out auto emails, which can be really helpful when you're building a business. In Flodesk, you can create a full page form that can be the very first version of your website. Going back to that dog walker example, your Flodesk landing page form, it could be a picture of you with some pets, a headline and a description of who you are and what you do, and then a simple form. This simple form could ask the website visitor for their name, their email, and you can even have a pick your neighborhood checkbox. You can automatically email them information about when you'll be in that area and what you'll charge. For this first website page, it doesn't even have to be a website. Pretty awesome, right? I'll include some info in the show notes about Flodesk because I think their landing page feature is a great one for anyone getting started. Okay, my friend, you've got one important thing on your to-do list today, and that is to create your first website. So let's go ahead and recap this so you can get to work. Unlike social media platforms, your website is entirely under your control. It's your digital home base where you can showcase your brand and connect with your audience on your terms. I want you to start small. Create a simple landing page that tells people who you are, what you do, and how they can reach you. When you're ready to add more, you can add an about page and a basic blog. You can add all of that content later on. But right now, you need to create a very simple page that, again, expresses who you are, what you do, and how people can reach you. When it comes to the actual words on the page, it's very important to keep it conversational and simple. I don't recommend using AI to write this simple copy for your very first website. I want you to write as if you're talking to a friend. Now, choosing the right platform for this very first website page is another important decision. Flodesk can be a great choice if you're just getting started, and Squarespace can be too. Squarespace has a really user-friendly interface and stylish templates, and you can buy your domain using their platform. Plus, you can add more to it whenever you're ready. It's a great option for a lot of people, especially those just getting started. If you do want to give it a try, visit insidethesquare.co/partner10. That's insidethesquare.co/the word partner and the numbers 10, partner 10. That's my affiliate link, so you'll actually get 10% off if you decide to sign up for a year, and I might get some commission if you sign up for their service using that link. No matter what platform you get started with, I really do want you to start today, and if you take away anything from this episode, remember that this landing page, this single page website that you're about to create needs to define who you are, what you do, and how people can reach you. Start small and add to it later. And if you like this episode of Think Inside the Square, be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you happen to be listening to this episode. And check out the show notes for links to helpful resources that can help you get your website started. You'll find those at insidethesquare.co/podcast. Thanks again for listening. And most importantly, have fun with your website. Bye for now.